Hello everyone, I am back again a lot sooner than I promised to be. I said it wasn't going to be until after my Tennessee trip where I had a haul for you guys, and apparently my self-control is worse than I feared. And I can tell you exactly what started this as well. I borrowed a book from the library, and just because I wanted to see if it was any good, a light novel, and I'm like, is it any good? Should I continue with the series? The answer is I'm going to, yes. I also really want to annotate the series. So, there's no real reason for me to want to annotate the series other than the fact that there's just a little few things. Like, while I was reading the first volume, I continuously found myself just arguing with what was being written down because I don't agree with the way things were phrased or the way things were working. Like, okay, so I can talk about this properly. I'm just going to tell you it was Sword Art Online. I have volumes 1, 2, 3, 5, and 6 here. I'm missing volume 4. They just didn't have it. I'll go into these in a second. But my main problem with this series was the fact that while I was reading it, there were certain things that were happening and being done and the way the world was built that just wouldn't happen in a regular RPG. Like, there's limited money system, there's a limited XP system, there's a limited amount of quests, and just so on and so forth. Those are just examples, but that is what I'm talking about. There's just certain things that were happening in the book and in the world building that I just was getting aggravated about. Also, I'm just gonna say this right now, I kind of wish this had redone the beginning. Like, when they first hop into the game, I wish it had redone it instead of just dropping us. I think it drops us like 2 months after. Like, I want to see those 2 months. Don't skip those first like month or two. I can't remember if it was a month or two. But whatever. They skipped a determined amount of time. Don't skip that amount of time. I wanted to read this because I want to know everything that happens in the time skips that they place in the first, like, I don't want to say canon series because that makes this not canon, and I'm pretty sure they both are. Point is, in the original series, they skip through time a whole lot. It is unbearable to read because none of it is in chronological order. But they also do it in the anime, and I'm like, I want to see everything that happens in those skips, even right off the bat. Like, the first like 2 months they're in the game where they're just learning stuff. I am interested in stuff like that, and that is what I want to see. This was a lot better. This covers the first 2 floors, and I don't know if each volume covers 2 floors or not, but you know, I don't know how long the series is gonna be, because I don't even think they've gotten out of Ironclad in 6 volumes. I'm not gonna look. I got all of these at Better Worlds Books. That's why they have all of these like stickers and stuff on them that I don't really like. But yeah, volume 1 is the one I read. A lot bigger than I thought it was going to be, and I wanted to annotate it. I will not be reading this series right off the bat, because I want to annotate it, and I kind of want to reread and want to annotate for the first time this first volume. So I kind of want to wait until this is like not fully, like, I'm not fully remembering this, because I just read this like a week or 2 ago before I decided to buy them, and I remember basically everything, and I want to forget a lot of it so that I can read it with fresher eyes. Or more or less, I don't want to be bored by rereading the same book I just read. So this is going to be a trip and a half, and it will at least be to next year when I get to this series. On the condition of all these books, they're pretty okay. There's some like wear and tear and everything, and little bentness and stuff. Volume 2 is like the worst of it, and you can't see it because I glued it, and that may have been a bad idea on my part, but this was ripped off from here to here. That part is like entirely ripped off, and I took some glue I had, and it pretty much fixed the problem, which is nice. I just have to be very, very careful with it. But yeah, this is the one that's in the worst condition, and I'm not too fussed about it because like this was never going to be like a favorite series of mine. I just don't like my books to be tore up. That's the long and short of the matter of it, but I don't know. I have these now. I don't, like I said, I don't know how many volumes are out or how long it's going to be. I am at least putting this off until I get volume 4 because I'm just going to, whenever I get these, I'm just going to read them as is. I don't care about finishing this series before I read it. I only read the first volume of it because I'm like, will I like this? People have told me that it's a lot better than the original series, and I will agree. I will agree. I will say that it feels like it's going to take 10 years to get to Alicization, and that is something I'm really like looking forward to. I really, really hope that they do Kirito's entire time growing up in that AI world. Did I just spoil something? I think I did. There's no real, I'm not going to give context to that. Just AI world, Kirito grows up in it. I want all of that. I don't want to skip a part of it. Okay, so the next book I have I'm really excited for, and that's Zatch Bell Volume 3. Better World Books had it. I was like, you know what? I might as well look to see if they have it while I am picking up this series. So I'm so happy they had this, and it wasn't in Spanish. I'm so excited for it. I love it so, so much. I really want to rewatch this series as well, but I haven't really found a place that was good to rewatch it. So right now I'm just collecting the volumes and just living in nostalgia. The next book I have is a light novel. I also decided on Better Worlds Books to pick up the first volume of ReZero light novel. I don't know how this is gonna go. I hope Subaru's a little less annoying. I hope I can actually tolerate Amelia because, spoilers, I hate Amelia. She is like one of the most useless female characters out there. She literally has nothing going for her but her looks, and people call Sakura useless. This is useless right here. I don't know if she'll stay useless or not. I just can't wait to see how the writing forms like this world, and because they really don't do a lot of showing of the world itself in the anime. Like I'm talking about like little nuances of like the daily life of normal people. He just goes straight into living in this mansion with whatever you want to call her. Elf waifu, whatever. Like, I don't care about her, and let me put this straight. I am Rem. I'm on Team Rem, but she's not my favorite character, not my favorite female character at all. I would say my favorite female character would probably be Beatrice. So, you know, just sit on that. I like Beatrice better. I don't want Subaru with anybody. I don't think anybody deserves Subaru because Subaru is not a good guy in the end. He's doing most of everything just for himself. Although, I guess it's kind of like a gray area because he is dying to save everyone's life. But 9 times out of 10, he kind of gets thrown into dying in the first place. He doesn't really choose to, except for a few points in the anime. And I'm not going to spoil things. Oh, but it's weird. And I just want to see how this world is formed and hopefully get a bit more world building. Because it feels like I watched the first 2 seasons. I plan on watching season 3, which should be coming out soon. But I don't know. I don't feel like I know this world enough. I don't know anything about the political system. It feels like I know nothing except for the fact that Subaru can rewind time by dying. And the whole purpose of him doing this is kind of a mystery. And the whole mystery behind how why they choose their rulers in the way they do is also something that interests me, but we're not getting a lot of it. Also, if I had to choose one of the potential leaders of this world, I am going with the green-haired chick, which I can't remember her name, but I would like her to be the new ruler of this world, kingdom, whatever it is. She's just the one that annoyed me the least. Next, and I'm not going to talk much about this, is Tokyo Revengers. I don't know which bind-up volume this is, but it includes volumes 22 or 21 and 22. I think I'm close to the end. I think this only has like 30 some volumes. So I also got this from Half Price Books, so I didn't pay a lot for it. By a lot, I mean I still paid $11 for it, but it's like perfect condition, and that's where I've been getting all my Tokyo Revenger volumes, because I'm just gonna be completely honest, I hope that I love this series. I think I'm gonna enjoy it enough that I want to read the manga to it, so that's why I've been collecting it. Next, also at Half Price Books, I got Don't Call It Mystery. This is the Omnibus, has volumes 1 and 2 in it. I have heard absolutely nothing about this series. This was actually the first time I'd ever seen a volume of this on Half Price Books or any site, to be honest. But, and let me be completely honest, I looked up really nothing about this, but I love mysteries, and you know, I don't want to say simp. I hate using the word simp. I hate that word. But I'm just really a big fan of any kind of mystery in any kind of media, whether it be movies, TV shows, books, manga, light novels. I just love mysteries. Also love mystery games as well. They're not done as well as I would hope, but they are still good. I really enjoy them. So I'm really hoping I enjoy this. I don't even know how long this series is. I don't know if it has an anime. I don't know any of that. I just know that it's a mystery and I want to read it. When that's going to be, I don't know. I need to look more into seeing how long it is, because if it's long, I kind of want to collect a few more volumes before I start it. That is all for the light novels and mangas, and I'm going to get into actual books, which it feels like I haven't hauled any actual books in a long time. So, you know, I'm sorry if I'm like a little rusty on that. Especially since all of these are continuous books in a series. Only one of these is the first book in a series. And I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know much about it. But I got all of these books off Amazon, I believe. I cannot tell you why I bought these particular books. Oh, no. Only 3 of these are off Amazon. These first 2 are off Half Price Books, and that's why I bought them. I was so confused. Like, why did I buy these on Amazon? I haven't even started the series yet. The first one is Infinity Sons, or Infinity Kings by Adam Silvera. I think the first book is Infinity Sons. This is a big honkin' book. This is really big. I think this is the last book as well. I think it's a trilogy. And I know nothing about this series other than it was written by Adam Silvera, and I've loved all of the books I've read from him so far, which is collectively 3, I think. If you count his and Becky Arbitali's like joint written book, I've actually read 5 by him. But since I don't like Becky Arbitali's books, but I liked those 2 books, I am going to count them. So I've read about 5 of his books. This is a series, the only thing I know about it, that it has magic in it, and it's most likely going to be very gay. And I'm here for both those things. So, moving on, because I really have nothing else to say about this. It's a very shiny book, and the dust underneath the dust jacket is boring. The next book I have is Defiant by Brandon Sanderson. This is the 4th book, which I thought it was a trilogy, but there's this 4th book, and I'm kind of sad that I got this in hardcover when I have the first 2 are in hardcover. The 3rd one is in paperback because that's the only copy I could find when I went book shopping that day, so I just bought it. And now I have another hardcover, and the 3rd book just stands out like a sore thumb. So obviously I don't know much about this series. I just know our main character is going to flight school, and it's set in space. And I've only read 1 series by Brandon Sanderson, but this one like tickled my interest a little bit. So especially since I've been getting more into sci-fi. So I decided to pick this up since I was getting it super cheap. Okay, the next 3 books are all by the same author, and I got these 3 on Amazon. And the only reason I got them on Amazon is because it was the cheapest place I could find these books anywhere else. They weren't on the half price books. They weren't on Better Worlds books. They weren't on Book Outlet. They weren't on anything that I could find. So first off, I have A Court of Silver Flames by Sarah J. Maas. This is a huge book. I do not have room for this on my shelf at all. I did skip out on getting A Court in Frost and Starlight. I decided that if I am going to read that book, which is not likely, I'll read reviews on it, see how important it is. But I figured I could just get that from the library because I haven't heard many good things about it. So I decided to get Court in Frost and Starlight simply because it was cheaper on there, and I knew that I was going to get into this series at some point. Do I have to read Throne of Glass before I read this series, or are they completely separated? I assume they're completely separated, but I'm going to be completely honest. I know nothing about Throne of Glass, and I also know nothing about this series. So I'm not sure if I can read one first, or if I need to read one first, or if I can just read them as separate series, or what I need to do. The next books I got are Crescent City and A House of Sky and Breath. This is wrapped in plastic, and I've kind of just left it in here till now just because it's been sitting on my floor, and this protects it from the dust bunnies and from my puppy. So yeah. But anyways, I got these 2 books because I unknowingly bought the 3rd book, not knowing it was the 3rd book. Or at least if I may have known it was the 3rd book at the time I bought it, but I completely forgot that it was the 3rd book by the time I was like, I want to pick up that series and read it. And then I learned that Crescent City is the 1st book, and I had the 3rd book instead. So, not intentionally me being stupid, but that was still stupid. So now I have the complete trilogy. I hope it's only 3 books. And that is all the books I had for you guys today. This felt so good because it was so small in comparison to all the other series or all the other book hauls that I've done. It just felt so small, and that's good both for my wallet and for my mental state. I got books, and it didn't cost me out the wazoo. Did I need any of these books? Yes. I'm not gonna lie and say no, because books, I like to hoard books as well as just read them and enjoy them and love them. I save some for special moments in my life for no reason at all, but I do know that eventually I will want to pick up that book and I will have them on my shelf. If there are ever a point in time where I cannot physically get out and get the books, or if there's any way for me to do anything else. I live in a place where we have some very bad snowstorms sometimes. The worst one took the electricity out for 2 weeks, and we could not leave the driveway. So it was a good thing we were stocked up on food, and I was stocked up on books, because that's also why I wear glasses now. I kind of ruined my eyes reading for those 2 weeks when we had no electricity, and I was reading by the dim light that was coming through the clouds. But I had nothing else to do, so I just read, and now I'm paying for it. But that's the kind of situation I am kind of stocking up for if this ever happens again. But yeah, that's the end of this video. I promise, and this promise I can most likely keep because we're going to be in Tennessee in 2 weeks. I will not have another haul video for you guys until I get back from that trip. I'm 100% going to have books at the end of that trip, just letting you know, because there's a Books A Million up there that is like, I can actually physically go to instead of driving 2 hours to get to one. I'll be like 15 minutes away from one. And I know there's a Christian bookstore that have more than Christian books. And then just the Goodwills and the flea markets and all of the used places we go just have books galore. And I am ready for it. My mom's ready to just go on vacation, to go used shopping for everything. I am just going for the books. And if I just happen to find manga and figurines and other anime related things while I am there, then that's just a bonus in my opinion. I've run out of shelf space. I have nowhere to put these books, but I'm going to go buy more books. And you can't stop me. I can't stop me, so you certainly can't stop me. But yeah, I have a little bit of a sugar high right now. I probably shouldn't have ate before filming this video. Okay, so I'm gonna go, I'm gonna go do something. I will talk to you guys in my next video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!